Hey, sports fans out there in YouTube land. Um, Today we're going to talk about a little college football. I'm exhausted. I smell like dried sweat. It was 100 degrees. Helped my son and daughter-in-law get moved into their new apartment. And Arlington, Texas, hot, 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 hot. Can't say enough. But I'm glad that they're moved in. Glad I could help them. They got about everything over there. Hopefully they get that rest of it done tonight and early tomorrow. And good luck in your new apartment, Ryan and Lauren. Today what we're talking about is Big 12 football. And we're going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. This is my conference that I pay the closest attention to because I'm right in the middle of it. I live in Oklahoma, and Oklahoma State are there. A lot of the Texas schools are in it, and surrounded by it. So it's Big 12 footballs. You hear a lot about it around here, and being a big Sooner fan, even though I wish they'd get in a different conference because I don't think the Big 12's helping them. But that's a different cast here. We'll talk about that one another time. Let's go into the predictions. Let's start with Kansas at number 10. There's good news and bad news for Kansas. The good news is basketball season starts in a few months. Bad news is you haven't been any good since you fired the coach for being too mean. Basketball coaches there have yelled at players before, but that's something else too. But they fired Mangino years ago, and they were relevant then. Hadn't been relevant before that, but then it became relevant, and they fired him. It was like relevance turned off. But they could use him again. They could use anybody again. Guys just can't seem to stay there, and we'll see if it gets any better. I just don't think there's talent there. But I got to pick number 10. And number 10, and looking forward to basketball season because they're always good in basketball. All right. Number 9, we're staying in the same state, Kansas State. I just before when they got rid of their coach, well, he retired before, and Bill Snyder, and they went downhill. I think they're going to go downhill fast this time. Because they don't seem to have that talent, and coach just willed them to be good, I think. And so I think they're going to finish 9th. I think West Virginia is going to finish 8th, and I don't think they're going to be bowl eligible. I think that they don't realize how important the quarterback position is, and from what I'm hearing, there's not a quarterback on campus that's ready to step in and play. So they're going to see how important the quarterback position is here and then over the next several months. All right. Now, I think they could have 7 teams bowl eligible, and I think Oklahoma State starts that group. Now, any one of these teams can drop off a little bit and not be bowl eligible, push it, but I think Oklahoma State finishes 7th. And I don't think they're going to be that good. And I know I'm going to have some Oklahoma State fans crying and yelling and whining. Let's get to the end of the season. Let's see what happens. And then you can cry and yell and whine how I mistreated your team, or maybe I'll be the one saying, you know what? I overrated your team. We'll see what happens with that. I just don't see Oklahoma State being real good. We're having a little technical difficulty with my computer that has There it is. All right. Had me worried I was going to have to do it for memory, and memory's not very long anymore. All right. Number 6, I think it's going to be Texas Tech. I think a lot of their fans think that they're going to be back. There's too much talent in the Big 12 that you don't just go and jump up and win the conference. I don't think they're going to be in contention for the conference, not real contention. But I think they could surprise some people and they could knock some people off. And I've got them finishing 6th. Number 5, I got Baylor. I think Baylor is headed down the right track. They got off track bad a few years ago, and I don't know that they'll ever get back the way they were, but I think they're back to respectable and in the top half of the conference. All right, number 4, TCU. I don't know how they do it, but somehow they always seem to have a good defense. And you look at the recruits, and they're recruiting 2 and 3 stars, and a few 4 stars, very few 5 stars, but they're not recruiting the same players that Oklahoma and Texas are, but their defense is usually better. And I don't get it. I just they give teams fits, and it tells you got good coaching, you're going to rise above where you're at. And it just seems like they're always a bowl team, always a good team, always either fighting for a conference championship or making the conference champions sweat a little. So I think TCU is going to finish 4th. Dog, I messed up. I was going to tell everybody I picked Texas 10th and see how much hate mail I could get. But anyway, we're not picking them 10th. We're picking them 3rd. I think Texas, despite the fact that all these Texas fans that just annoy the holy living out of me around here, are saying Texas is back. Yeah, back to shining OU's shoes. Yeah, that's what back means. Yeah, you are. But that's another story. And I'm not a big Texas fan this year. I think they finished 3rd. I think they're overrated. I think that like ESPN and some of those guys want them to be relevant nationally because it helps their ratings, but they're not back. They're going to be a good team. They're going to be a bowl team, but they're not ready to win the conference. I think that they're going to be close to winning the conference, but they're not going to be there. I think I just think that everybody overrates them. Everybody talks about how good they are, and they have for years, and they haven't been that good. And I just don't think they're back to that level. I think they're improved, and they're getting a little better every year, but I don't think they're ready to win a conference. All right, the team I see finishing 2nd, I think they're putting it together up there in Iowa. Iowa State's going to finish 2nd. And they're going to be a tough team. They were a tough team this last year. Ask Oklahoma. I think that with a little luck, they could finish 1st. But they got to have a little luck and beat Oklahoma too. And I don't think they're going to have that much luck. I think Iowa State is a solid 2nd. They'll play for the conference championship. But they will get beat by Oklahoma, who's going to finish 1st. All of you people that say, well, Oklahoma doesn't deserve, you know what? When's the last time Oklahoma didn't win a conference? So prove me wrong. Prove to me that somebody else is going to beat them, and we'll do it. I could see an argument for Iowa State. They beat them last year, or gave them a game last year, but I don't think that they're going to that nobody's at that level where Oklahoma is. And if Oklahoma puts together some semblance of a defense, and they don't have to put together a great defense, but some semblance of a defense, Oklahoma wins the conference and is fighting for a national championship. And if anybody disagrees with me on this, the last 2 years, if they had any like semblance of a defense, if you could tell there was a defense on the field when the other team had the ball, they would have played for a national championship both years. They couldn't stop anybody, and I think that's going to be a little different. I don't think it's going to be the number 1 defense in the nation, but I think it's going to be a top half defense. I think the defense is going to be stronger. I think it's going to have that bend don't break. That was what killed me last year, the last several years, is the other team, whatever team, didn't matter, good, bad, indifferent, there was going to be a big play, and there was going to be 4 or 5 missed tackles on it. And you just look at it and just tackle the guy. If you tackle the guy, that's all you got to do is tackle the guy and make one more play. and that and not having any turnovers. I think that Grinch, the defense coordinator, I think he's gonna create some turnovers. He has in the past with his teams, and if they just play a decent defense, I'm talking about like top 50 defense, somewhere in that where they're sniffing 50, I would be happy. That causes turnovers. I think they'll win. They'll win out, and they'll be hard to beat because their offense. I don't know what Lincoln Riley has, but he can whisper to quarterbacks and make them turn into Prince Charming here. Last 2 number 1 picks in the draft, I'll tell you. It's just that's unheard of. And if you would have told me that was going to happen anywhere, I would have said, no, you're not going to get that. I think Hurt's gonna show some things this year, and he's going to be, if not the best quarterback, he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks. We're looking. You know what? I don't want 3 Heismans in a row. If instead you get a national championship, though, 2 Heismans and a national championship, we'll call it good. All I got left to say is, Boomer. I'm out of here.